God himself is Quorum. It means that God is the signature of creation, but the creation wouldn't have taken place without a Quorum within himself, in himself. That is him, the Trinity. Now, when it came to Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, the Bible said, let us. So it was not possible for man to be created without the effort of the Quorum. The world itself cannot be destroyed without the involvement of these three chords. Therefore, there are several kinds of spiritual quorums, but we are going to do 4. So this is where we'll begin to talk of those patterns. There are 4 that I want to talk about. Number 1, the spiritual quorum of number. Number 2, we have the spiritual quorum of covenant. Number 3, we have the spiritual quorum of evidence. Number 4, we have the spiritual quorum of redemption. Now let's take number. So when you speak of the spiritual quorum of number, you are simply speaking about agreement, because it has to do with number. So it recognizes agreement between 2 or more people. The book of Genesis chapter 11 verse 1 to 8, the Bible says that there was a time that the world came together and they said, let's build for ourselves a tower. They called that tower Babel, right? So that we can reach God. The Bible says when God saw it, he said to the angels, the people is one. The first grammatical error to show you how unified and intertwined they were. You know, when you are speaking to a team, you call it a. You refer to it as a, not they, because it is one mind, even though different people. Just like your body that cannot disagree against itself. If your leg is going, your eyes will be seeing, and your hand will be doing, heart will be beating. So it cannot disagree against itself. They became so unified that they built. And do you know what God said? He was not afraid of what they were building at the moment, but he said so that one day they will not even build something stronger than this. The power of number, Quorum. So the people became so dangerous that heaven had to come out and confuse their language. What about the book of Matthew chapter 18 verse 18? The Bible says that anything 2 people decide to agree about, if they bind on earth, what happened? It shall be bound in heaven. You remember also Peter in the book of Acts chapter 12 verse 13. The Bible says that when they arrested him, the church decided to do what? They came together and prayed, and Peter was released. Quorum. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 12. If you also pay attention to Amos chapter 3 verse 3, what did the Bible say? It said, can 2 walk together except they what? And I told you that spiritual quorum of number recognizes what? Agreement. So until they agree, you cannot walk together. And if one prevail against him, 2 shall withstand him. And a 3-fold cord is not quickly what? Number 2, spiritual quorum of covenant recognizes faithfulness. Covenant is not done by one person. Covenant is a 2-people thing or more. It means that one needs to play his part and the other playing his part. A typical example that I will show you is Abraham. Genesis chapter 22 verse 1 to 24. When Abraham wanted to kill Isaac, the angel stopped him. But Paul said Abraham actually killed him because nothing would have stopped him. He had already made up his mind to do it. Then I now interpreted that statement that the angel made. You know, many of us will think it this way, that it was an echoing voice. Abraham, don't kill your son. Abraham would have slaughtered that guy. Because Abraham was in a haste. When a child wants to enter fire, you don't say, my son, don't enter fire. He would have roasted. Abraham, stop! That was what happened there. Because the guy was reaching his neck with his sword. He was killing him. Abraham, stop! I have provided something. God saw that. He said, because you did this. It was from this place. He said, because you did this. He said, I shall make your seed like the sand of the seashore. So that is a covenant of faithfulness. The spiritual covenant of covenant. If you can stay with God, and if God says to you, my daughter, my son, do not give your body to any man that you are not married to, or any woman you are not married to. If you stick to that covenant, I am telling you the things that God will do with you. I'm telling you from experience. Pastor Joe is aware. When I see people say they are virgins, whether male or female, I say hold it tight. sometimes the prayer you pray may not take you to where you need to get to. Without that, I lost it and I lost everything. I watched branches closing. I watched members leaving. I watched people that were coming to help me. Everybody left until I was alone. I was thinking, flies were literally running on my forehead, physically, not spiritually. If God says to you, don't wear trousers, I'm not against trousers, but as a woman, he says, don't wear trousers, stick to that. That's your own covenant with him. He knows why he's telling you that. He created you. That not wearing trousers is what will open you to nations. If you break it, you are breaking your life, your relevance on earth. God will tell you that this one, I want you to always feed the person and don't murmur. That's your own. So when you have the last thing, the person will come and stand again. And you know what? God will not speak to you at that moment, whether to do or not to do. He had already spoken to you. Not because he's wicked, but he expects that I have been covering you. I have been doing a lot of things. Just keep doing what I asked you to do and I will be faithful. Remain faithful, I will remain faithful. Do you know what this guy said? Elijah, I'm tired. I'm the only prophet. He said, what? I have 7,000 prophets that did not bow to Baal. How have they been feeding? That's a mystery that he should have even asked. And he said, because you said that, go and anoint Jehu, anoint Elisha, and anoint Eliezer. Is it Eliezer? The third person. 3 of them. That was the end of Elijah's ministry. Simply because he said, I am tired.